Hi beautiful people, welcome back to another tutorial. In this video I'm going to be showing you how I went about to draft this beautiful blouse you're seeing. I've already have my pattern paper on the table, and then you want to make sure that the whole of the pattern paper, the width is enough to cover for the biggest part of the 1/4 of the biggest part of the measurement plus 2 inches. If the biggest part of the measurement is hip, then you want to make sure half it, and then add 2 inches to it to get the entire width. Then we'll now fold it into two just to demarcate the front from the back. I hope that is cleared. I've done that, and I've gone ahead to draw my horizontal line from the shoulder to the waistline, shoulder to the hip, and shoulder to the on the bust line. And that is for the back, shoulder to the waist. And as well as I'm making use of 2 inches for the difference between the back length and the front length, and that I'll be using on the bust, on the side front for the bust darts. So we're going to get to that later in the video. And that is me taking the length of the blouse, yes, which is 2 inches different, like it's 2 inches shorter than the front. Yes, and that's we're going to be making use of later on, like I said. So now let's dive in. I'm going to go ahead and measure half of shoulder to shoulder measurement. If you have been following my videos, you will know this is how I do start. Half of the shoulder measurement, and then once I've done that, I want to take the shoulder slant for the front, which is 1.5. We're working on the front pattern now, and the standard neckline 3 by 3. You can use your bust divided by 12 to determine that. Whatever you have, that will be the standard, although I'm still going to be altering this neckline later in the video. So I've done that, and that is what I have. So go ahead and connect it that way. I hope it is clear. And then the next thing I want to do is to determine the chest line. To get the chest line, you want to divide your bust by 6 plus 1.5. I do that a lot, and that is the way I go about to do it. And what I had there was around 7.5 thereabout. So I will input it from the shoulder slant, then everything there like that, and everything all the way together from the shoulder slant to that point that I mark for the chest line. I'm going to be adding it together and then roll it across. If what you get from the calculation is 7.5, you're going to add your shoulder slant of 1.5, then together will give you 9 inches. Then you just roll the line, mark it from the shoulder, and you want to make sure you extend the shoulder to shoulder line, the half of the shoulder we took, extend it down to the chest line, and the same chest line, the same calculation I arrive at for the chest line, which is my 7.5 plus 1.5 inch for the shoulder line. I'm going to be extending it to the back. That's what I did. You extend the line from the front to the back, and then we want to input half of our shoulder to shoulder measurement, the same thing we did for the front to the back, and that's for the neckline. You've seen me done. That's for the shoulder, and the neckline I did use there is 3 by 1. 3 for the width, same for the front, and 1 inch for the depth. Then go ahead and extend your shoulder to shoulder line all the way to the chest line. And then for the shoulder slant at the back, it's going to be 1 inch. Remember, 1.5 for the front, 1 inch for the back. And that is the way to do it. And that is the neckline for the back. This we're still going to be altering later on. 3 by 1 is what I used. And that is it, guys. Okay, moving on to imputing 1/4 of the bust measurement on that part. On the waistline, 1/4 of the waist measurement, you want to impute it and then add your dart intake. I love to use 1.5. You can decide to use 1 inch. That means if you are opening the dart leg, it's going to be 0.75. That is if you use 1.5. And if you are using 1 inch, that means you're opening it by 0.5. And on the hip line, 1/4 of the hip measurement, that is what I've done there. You see that? And then I'll go ahead to extend that also to the hem. And then getting the armhole shape, you want to go up by 3 inches and then go in by 0.5 like that, and then connect it from the shoulder slant to the 0.5 you went in by. and then use your curve ruler to do that part up to the bust. Can you see that? To the bust line. And then we move to the next thing, which is to do that of the back. The way to do the back is to measure what you have from the chest line to the shoulders line, get the midpoint, divide into 2, and then go in by 0.5. Then go ahead and connect it the same way we did for the front, that way. And then before you do the imputing of 1/4 of the bust, you want to do your back tightening. For this blouse, I love to use 0.75 on the waistline. Then I'll go ahead and connect it to the hip line and all the way to the neckline. By so doing, we'll be able to eliminate folding at the back. Yeah, this works for majority of people, and for people that have a very deep center back, you can still go ahead to take 0.5 or 0.25 from the waistline. But then this is what I normally do, and it has been working for me perfectly. I only take 0.75 from the center back and connect it to the hip and to the neckline. So that part, I've gone ahead to impute 1/4 of the bust measurement. You want to place your tape right after the back tightening line, not from the real center. Can you see what I'm doing on the waistline? After the back tightening line, put in your 1/4 of your waist measurement and then add your dart intake. So that's the way to do it. You're not to place the tape roll on the main center back because we have done our back tightening and that part is meant to be cut off. On the hip line, you want to start from the initial, this normal center back, and then impute 1/4 of the hip measurement. Then you extend the same thing to the hem line, just as you see me do. This shape here looks somehow because the person has a bigger waist, but by the time we hold it that, the shape is gonna balance, it's gonna be okay. So we want to take the nipple to nipple or the bust span to get the line for the darts. So the dart leg, so that way you go from the bust point all the way down to the hem of the blouse, just like that. And on the waistline, like I said, I had it 1.5, so I'll be taking 0.75 on both sides. And that's the way from then you connect it from the bust point or to the waistline and connecting it to the hip line, not entirely to the hip line. I used to go up by 1.5, then do that in this case. Yeah, in another video where we'll be doing something like a corset of a thing, there's another technique you can use to do this particular part for, but a blouse like this is just absolutely fine. Yeah, so that way I've gone ahead to extend it. Okay, what I did here is to extend it all the way down to the hem of the blouse. Yeah, and then connect it that way. Use your cuff ruler, not too coffee to that part, and that's to get the first initial armhole, although we're going to be altering this. So we'll come down by 1 inch on that part, come down by 1 inch, then reconnect it, redraw your armhole shape, and then on the bust line, you want to impute the 1/4 of the on the bust measurement. You must have taken that firmly on yourself, so you want to impute that 1/4 of it. And what I have left on that part, I'm going to be distributing it on both sides, towards the center front and the other one towards the side front. Can you see that? We can decide to distribute it equally, but mostly I use 0.5 towards the center front and whatever is remaining towards the side front, and then we go ahead and connect it that way. Then for the upper part here, you use your curve ruler to do that. Can you see that? Just follow what I'm doing. So one more thing, like I said, come down by 1 inch on that part and reconnect it that way. Yeah, we're doing the tightening on that part too, and then go ahead and connect it to your on the bust tightening that you have marked already. What you have marked for your on the bust tightening, just like that. I'm taking my time because I don't want it to be too coffee, and it needs to blend with the armhole cuff we did initially, that part. So that part is going to be cut off. That's why I mark it that way. You want to make sure it aligns nicely. There should be no sharp edge. It shouldn't be pointed. So after doing that, yeah, that is what I've done. Then you want to redo this part. Go out by 1 inch to connect it back to the armhole. This, by the time you're joining the two parts together, is going to blend nicely. There won't be shortage on any of the parts. And the 2 inches difference between our front and the back line, I've marked it on that part. And from the bust point, I'll go in by 1 inch because this bust is higher or bigger than 39. Anything from 36, 38, yeah. I do that just to give it a little bit of fullness. And on the side front, I mark the 2 inches on that part. The essence of that marking that I did there, I'm going to show you later. By the time we'll be closing the dots. So for the neckline, I want to alter it into what I want, a V-neck. Firstly, determine the cleavage, that is around 8 inches. Then I open out the width of the neckline by, I think, by 1 inches more, or 1.5. You want to determine that on yourself. And we've gotten a V-neck. That will be the new neckline. And then moving to the back now, let's go ahead and do the darts for the back. From the real center back now, you want to mark your half of your nipple to nipple all the way down. Nipple to nipple, connect it that way, as you can see. And on the chest line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Can you see that? Mark 1 inch, come down by 1 inch. Then on the waistline, your dart intake 0.75 on both sides. Then go ahead and connect it that way. Can you see from the marking of 1 inch that we came down from the chest line? You're not starting from the real chest line. And then go ahead and do this part. Can you see that? I was trying to, that's the normally I used to do that, but I decided to extend it to the hem of the blouse. Yeah, it's still okay. Then whatever inches that's in between there, I can add it back to the side. Yes. So this is me connecting the from the darts side there to the armhole, and then you want to come out by 0.5, because if you don't do that, when you join in, there's going to be shortage. And on the neckline, so you want to alter the neckline to how wide you want it. I did the same inches I had it for the front, and for the back, for the depth I used 2 inches. And here I'm going to slash open the pattern. We are almost done. This is just the normal basic armor princess that just that it has a on the bust tightening and the side that as well. So trying to slash this part open so that, yeah, on that part, remember to also connect it where we did our on the bust tightening. You want it to connect it back. You know, for the underbust, we came out by, I did came out by 0.5. For the tightening, what I have left after marking 1/4 of the underbust measurement. So you want to make sure you blend that part as well. Can you see that? And then I'm going to cut this part out. That's the way to go about it. You want to go by the first line for the first center pattern for the front, that way. And then this is me trying to figure out how I want the lace edge to be. So you want to determine how low you want it first, then try figure it out how to cut it. So I decided to go by this, going that way. You can do it whichever way you want. If you want it very low, if you want it straight, you can go ahead and do it that way. So that's for the yoke part. And then cut out the shoulder line that way. So we've done that part. And on this part, to do this, I'm going to be closing my bust darts. Can you see that part? We're cutting out the darts and as well as the tightening from the other bust. Okay, see that? Close that part there. And then you need to blend it. That was the reason why I made that a kind of a rectangular shape the other time. You just need to blend it nicely that way. And then you see the little bit opening on the bust point there is for the fullness. You know, I went in by 1 inch before marking the 2 inches for the difference between the back and the front on the side. So go ahead and do it that way. And there we have the side pattern ready, just to shape it at the side, which we're still going to do later on. So we've marked that for our yoke separate, and this is the back. The back is so simple. Just go ahead and cut it that way, separating the back, the center back from the side back. The only thing we did here was just to do that intake, and then yeah. And for this part, we extended the line by 0.5 or out, so that by the time you're joining the two together, there won't be any shortage. If we don't extend it out, there's going to be shortage. Yes. Can you see that? So that is how, and cut out your dart. We don't need that. So before we go ahead and transfer on our fabric, and then to the shoulder slant, you want to cut that part out. To the neckline, you want to cut this part out. And yeah, and the back tightening parts, and that is it for the back tightening. Remember 0.75 on the waistline. You can do 0.5. And there's another thing which I'm still going to be showing another video on how you can do your back tightening. I think I have that video on my page. You can always check it out. So to shape the side, I thought to shape the side, shaping of the side give the blouse a very nice fitting. And for those people that loves to like leave the darts, I'm sorry, leave the blouse out, like place it on top of the wrapper, this will look really nice. So I think I did make use of either 1 or 1.5 from the side, and then connect it that way. Yeah, that should be 1.5. So that is the way to shape it. You want to do the same thing for the front. And there we have our pattern ready to be transferred to our fabric that way. Can you see that? And determine how you want to shape it. So there we have it, guys. If you have watched this video to this level, you want to do well to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, guys, and share me out. Yes, and I have loads of video on my page. You can always check it out. Here I remember I've not cut out the yoke pattern, so I have to separate the yoke from the body, from the center front. And remember, when you're transferring the center front, you want to make sure it is unfold. Unfold in the sense that you need to fold the fabric, like it's not going to be cut out. It has to be as a whole. Unfold being on a whole. Fold your fabric into two, then place your paper on it like that. Because for the middle center front, you're not going to be slashing it open. It has to appear like a single piece. Yeah. So I went ahead to add 0.5 sewing allowances everywhere on those patterns. The only place where I did use 1.5 was for the side one, and we'll soon get to that part. And that's for the center front, like I said. Make sure it is on fold like that so you don't slash it open. Yes. And then on this part of the side front, I think this is for the side front. Yes, side front. You need to pin it down, right? And this pattern, the one reason I love pattern drafting is for the fact that it helps to save fabrics. I love it so much. I hardly use freehand, and when I do, I had to take my time so that I don't make mistake. Yeah, because I'm used to pattern. I know when after drafting, I'm going to be adding my sewing allowances on the fabric. But for freehand, you just need to add it immediately you're marking it. Any mistake of not adding it will bring about shortage. Yeah. So on the side I added 1.5, and every other side 0.5, as you can see in the video. 0.5 all the way around like that. And that is how to go about to transfer your pattern on your fabric. Yeah, 0.5 on the side, sorry, on the middle part, on the side 1.5. At the end, I did use 1 inch. You can decide to use 2 inches if you're not sure of the length. Yeah, but I'm okay with the length, so I use 1 inch because of the toning. And here I've gone ahead to join the patterns together, the side to side, like each of them together, and the lining I've turned it on the neckline and at the edge, and that is what I've done. The same thing I did for the other piece of the back. And for the front too, you want to join the 3 panels together, and for the back as well, add your padding if you want to pad it, and then iron on your ST. That's what I did here. The person is she's busty, and I only added a very light pad, because already, even with the shape, without you padding it, the blouse will look perfectly okay. And that part for the yoke, that's what we're going to be cutting now. For a video on how to cut your wedding, you can check it out on my page. You will see it right at the top. You will see it showing at the corner now. Yes, so you can check it out. Okay, and that is for the blouse, as you can see it there. So let's go ahead and cut the yoke part. You will need the lace edge part for the yoke part. The lace edge, wherever you see lace edge, because that's what we need for the V-neck parts. And this is it, guys. This is it. So that way you want to make sure we are cutting for the both side. You understand? So it's going to be 2 pieces. Should I say, yeah, 2 pieces? So then go ahead and place the V-neck parts on the edge, the hem of the where the lace edge is. As you can see, it doesn't matter if it's not going in the way, like the way the slant is for the V-neck. Yes, just place it that way. Make sure you place it so close to the edge, just like that. You don't expect it to follow that same pattern or the way the V-neck is on the paper, because this is a lace edge and the edges comes in different forms. Some edges are like so terrible. I don't want to say terrible, like you struggle to get a very neat, like to cut it out, but this is where to go about it. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't follow the straight line of the v-neck. Yeah, so I added 0.5 all the way around for the joining, just like that. I'm taking my time. I had to slow it down here so you can see it, and then just like that, guys, just like that. Yes, and you want to make sure the lace edge does aligns nicely. Yeah, one is not pointed, the other one is not in. You want to place it nicely to have equal shape on both sides. And then that is how to go about it. Then you go ahead and join it to the neckline. Can you see that? Flip it, right side facing the right side. Now I'm just going to separate it. Go ahead and like that, just as you will see me do. Go ahead, join it together. After joining, then you use your lining. You must have joined the lining together like the main fabric is. Then you use your lining to turn it, but you need to join the neckline first. You need to join it first and then use your lining to turn it to the other side. Go ahead and fix your zipper, join the sides together. Yes, and that is the way to go about it, guys. I don't want the video to be too long. Like I said, I'm quickly going to explain again. Join the lace edge to the neckline, turn it with the lining, turn the hem with the lining, then go ahead and join the sides together, fabric to fabric. That's the way I did it, lining to lining. Then I went ahead to fix the sleeve. So thank you so much, guys. If you have watched it to this level, that is the way I did went about to cut this beautiful blouse. So let me know in the comment section if you're going to be trying it out. It's such a simple, beautiful blouse. Yeah, and this is going on top of a wrapper or with a wrapper. So guys, I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to encourage me to keep making more video. So guys, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you, guys, and you can also get in touch with us if you really want this style to be made for you. I believe those people watching are fashion, maybe fashion designer. You are learning to sew, so try it out, guys, and let me know what you think. If you struggle with anything, ask me the question in the comment section, and I will respond to you. Okay, bye guys. I'll see you in my next video. And that is the placement of the lining. Like I said, after you might have joined the lace edge, then go ahead and turn it that way. Can you see? Yes, turn it that way. And then after I turn the hem before joining the side. That's the way I do it. All my joining goes inside. I don't do any hemming or anything.